You think Jesus can do anything right here in Las Vegas, Sin City? I believe that what God is doing is He's creating an eternal testimony. And what we know is when we can come together under a spirit of unity, nothing will be impossible. Hello, Las Vegas, and welcome to another episode of Las Vegas United. I'm your host, Aaron Pino. Here at Las Vegas United, we are partnering with God to create an eternal testimony of His goodness, mercy, and power right here in the Las Vegas Valley. What I love about our show is we bring on different leaders within our community who are making an impact. And today I have a great guest for you. Would you help me welcome Brandon Bourbon? Brandon, what's up, man?
What's going on, Aaron? It is so awesome to be here. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man. I'm happy to have you on the show. I'm really excited to talk about what you have going on.
Yeah.
Because it's near and dear to my heart. But before we jump into all that, tell me a little bit more about yourself, wife, kids,
Yeah. I am getting up there in age. I am turning 34 in August.
Please.
Yeah.
Getting up there in age.
I'm feeling it. I wake up in the morning and I snap, crackle, and popping a little bit more. Married for the last 11 years. We got married up in Northern California. That's where we're originally from. My wife, Angelica, and I, we have 3 kids.
Awesome.
We have a daughter that's 9 who keeps reminding me that she's turning 10. And she tells me, Dad, in 8 years, I'll be 18. So that's how she leaves it. She's like, so I'll be 18. I'm like, no, slow down. So I have a 9-year-old, I have an 8-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
Yeah.
We are from, like I said, Northern California. We moved here to Vegas last April. So we survived one summer here, and we're making it through this one too, and we'll make it just fine.
Smack dab in the middle of your second summer. Congratulations,
right,
man.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully it's more to come. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Of course it will be.
Absolutely.
And I love your family, man. I've been in your home before. We've had dinner with our family. Our kids are around the same age, so we've made the connection that way. Last time I was there, you just were involved with like some kind of like pizza convention, so you sent me home with all this leftover pizza stuff.
You got cheese and meats and stuff, and we still have some more in our freezer. If you'd like some more, you can come over and have some more cheese.
Man, I had pizza coming out of my ears. I can't imagine what you guys are like, man.
We just started getting really creative. Pizza cereal, pizza sandwiches. Oh yeah, everything you can think of.
Oh, that's great. I don't know about the pizza cereal, but I'll take your word for that one, man.
Just replace the milk with sauce and.
That's awesome, man. So you guys moved from Northern California.
We were about an hour. We were an hour from Yosemite National Park. Yeah, we were in the mountains. We were surrounded with trees and rivers and lakes, and then we moved to the desert.
Yeah,
all to plant a church.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Dude, right off the bat, I just want to say thanks for coming to Vegas, man.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's all about the kingdom. Mm-hmm. It's all about our city. Yeah. It's all about helping people connect with Jesus,
Absolutely.
And I'm so incredibly grateful for God to send people to our city to help just keep pushing heaven's agenda along.
That's right.
And so thanks for coming, man, to Vegas.
Yeah, it was really God told us to come out here, really.
Yeah, talk to us about that. How did that unfold?
That whole process started back in 2019. We were pastors up in a church in Northern California. My wife and I ran the youth. We were associates. My wife did kids and the office work. And at the beginning of 2019, we really felt God starting to stir on us something different. And we didn't know what it was. We were reading the word. We were doing our devotions. We were doing different fasting and prayer times throughout the year. And specifically the beginning of 2019, we felt God tell us to get ready. And we were like, get ready for what? We don't know what that means. So that was the beginning of 2019. So we just started getting stuff ready at our house. We had lots of projects that were unfinished at our house. And so we're like, well, let's just finish these projects.
Yeah.
We thought God was just being really just blatant to us and just like, hey, finish the work that you're already doing. And then the next will come. Mm-hmm. So we started just finishing projects around our house. And then all throughout the year, I was actually like literally getting a little upset with God because I'd be like, God, still coming to you, asking you, what is this I'm supposed to be getting ready for? And I always just hear, get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm like, for what? There's nothing else to do. Until October of 2019, I was driving down the road. I know exactly where I was, crossing this road, crossing the railroad tracks. It was like if God was sitting in the passenger seat. Didn't hear an audible voice, but I felt him speak to my spirit and said, I want you to plant a church.
Wow.
And I was really shocked. I was like, what does that mean? And then that opened the floodgate of questions. Right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, okay, where, when, why, who, how is this going to work? You're from a small town, Aaron, in Northern California. Population of the whole county was probably close to 15,000 people.
The whole county?
The whole county was 15,000.
Yeah.
So it's a small town. We had a Walmart and 2 Starbucks. That was it. But we just felt God just say, okay, you're going to plant a church. And that led us on the road of figuring out where. We had other mentors and leaders in our life, and we went to them, and we went to our senior pastor, and we're like, hey, this is what we feel God is calling us to do. But what do we do with this? And which that just led to more prayer and more confirmation from other people that was in our life. They said, yeah, we've been seeing that in your life too.
Yeah.
I talked with my wife about that the first time that we this came up, and we felt like God was calling us to plant a church. And she just literally, she's like, I feel like God has been telling us to do that for the last 3 years.
Wow.
So God was speaking to each of us separately before we came together. And it was just a confirmation when we came together. And she was like, yeah, this is what we're called to do.
Wow.
So that just led us to, okay, well, we got to find out where we're supposed to go. We got with our district officials. We're part of the Assemblies of God denomination. And we got with our district officials and we said, hey, is there a place that's on your heart that matches up with what we're called to do?
Yeah.
And they gave us a list of cities of where they're wanting to plant a church in. And one of those cities was Las Vegas, more specifically the north part of Las Vegas, northwest part. And we took that list and I fought it for a while. I was like, never in my life will I live in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, God, it's got to be Hawaii. It's got to be somewhere else, God.
Was Hawaii on the list?
It was on my list.
Oh,
but it was not on the list that was given me. So I looked at that list and I was like, I don't want to go in any of those places. So it's got to be somewhere else, and then I just kind of took the reins from God. Have you ever done that?
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
Sure.
Like God says, I'm calling you to do this. Okay, cool, God. I got it from here.
Sure.
And we just get ourselves in a mess. So we had to kind of dig our way out of that mess after I'm spinning our wheels, trying to figure out where we're going to go. I Googled all kinds of things because I was so new to church planting. I Googled church planting Florida, church planting Wyoming. There was a minute there we almost moved to Chicago to plant a church.
Wow.
Yeah. So that all led us to then that was this beginning of 2020 then, where we took everything back and we're like, okay, God, we need to focus on you and fast and pray again. If you're calling us to plant a church, you spoke to our hearts. You'll give us the location too. Yeah. So we did that. We did a Daniel fast at the beginning of 2020, and we journaled separately, my wife and I. And I really felt God was saying Las Vegas. He just kept tapping that on my heart. And I just submitted. I was like, okay, God, if that's what you're calling us to do, I submit. I will do your will. You have to speak to my wife. You got to tell Angelica that's what.
Come on, brother.
So because he's got to call both of us. So we compared our journals at the end of that fast. And like the first entry of her journal, it was like, God, I know we're supposed to go to Las Vegas. You just got to tell Brandon. And then my journal was, I know we got to go to Las Vegas. You got to tell Angelica. So it was like a confirmation again that that's where we're supposed to be. So we're both telling God, you got to tell the other one, and that got us on the journey, the beginning of 2020 to then sell our house. And then the pandemic hit. So that slowed stuff down, but we kind of put that on the shelf because we really wanted to serve well at the church that we were serving at. So we wanted to serve well there and get our congregation and our youth group and different people that was under us and our team through that time until we felt God say, okay, now's the time. Yeah. And that was about November of 2020 is when he said, all right, continue where you left off. Yeah. And here we are. We moved here 21. Yeah. April of 2021.
Man, that's an awesome story. Awesome journey. You know what's really cool? I like you guys a lot. I like Angelica. I like you, man. You guys are sharp people. You guys are people of boldness, of faith. I love the fact that you guys are spiritual people. You took some time to pray and fast. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know someone's really spiritual when they want to do a fast.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the journey through it all, and then also the fact that you guys said, you know what, we're going to submit this to our leadership.
Right.
A lot of people, I say it like this, they just went, they weren't sent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys had the character and integrity to take it before your leadership and say, hey, this is what we're feeling. And that leadership also saw the calling and the gifting of God on your life. Man, this is your moment. This is it. You know what I mean? And Vegas needs the Bourbons.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited, man, to hear your story. And what's really cool is we're in the same area. You know what I mean? Like we're practically neighbors. You know what I mean? Like,
Come on.
you know, that northwest part of the valley, there's a handful of churches there, but we need more.
Yeah.
Vegas needs more churches. I tell people all the time, like, if God were to visit everyone in a dream tonight and say, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, get into a church.
Get into a church. Yeah.
And they're going to help you. We don't have enough churches to house everybody.
No.
We need more churches. We need more
Yep.
to help steward what God is releasing in our city. And that's what excites me about you guys, man, because we're just a couple years ahead of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're the same situation where we actually were in Chicago whenever God called us back here to Vegas, you know? But the journey's incredible.
Yeah.
The journey is absolutely incredible. So so I'm not sure if you mentioned the name, but tell us the name of the church and the vision behind it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So we felt God is calling us to plant Pivot Church. Life is full of pivotal moments, right? And that we probably even heard that word so many times the last couple of years. You know, we need to pivot through this and through that, different situations and work and stuff closed down. But we really feel because life is so full of pivotal moments, you get married, graduate, maybe you get stationed here in Vegas, being a military family. There's just these moments that define our life. But the most important decision that anybody could ever make is that moment that they have that pivotal encounter with Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Now, that's the most important decision anybody could ever make is when they say, God, I know you're real. You're Lord of my life, and I want to make you Lord of my life, and I will submit to you in what you're calling me to do. Help me to lead my family well. That decision right there is the most important pivotal decision.
That's right.
So that's our vision and our hope. We just want people to have that pivotal encounter with God. You know, even if we grew up in church, I grew up in church. I'm sure you grew up in church, but we remember this time when it just clicked, even for my own self. I was after high school, graduated. I thought I was fine and everything. And God was God. I know he was real. I was going to church. I wasn't living a sinful life, but I wasn't fully devoted all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until that moment that I realized God wants to walk with me. God wants to be my friend and he wants to be my savior. He wants to be my Lord and he wants to be my helper, my counselor. So he's right there. And everything just changed for me. It was like that immediate, that pivotal moment.
Yeah.
So we're trying to create that in the northwest part of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And because life is full of all those moments and those decisions, life isn't meant to be lived alone. You know, in Matthew, in a lot of the Gospels, it says a version of the story when Jesus talked about the greatest commandment is to love your Lord, your God with all your mind, whole heart and strength. And then the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. In Luke, he gave a parable of who is your neighbor. You remember that story of the Good Samaritan? Oftentimes I've experienced myself in church, we're really good about loving God, but when it comes to loving our neighbor as ourselves, I mean, we'll pray for them, we'll keep them at a distance, but I'm busy with my life and I got to do my thing and I got to get to church and I got to get the kids to school and I got life I got to do. We neglect that latter part of loving your neighbor. You know, we want to love God, we want to love our neighbors, but that happens in doing life together. And that's what we're trying to build organically in the Northwest is just a community of people doing life together. Yeah. You know, that's where true healing comes in. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's that Wednesday night, that Thursday afternoon when life is tough. Who do you turn to? Well, you can turn to someone that you're doing life with and call them up, send them a text like, hey, life is hard right now. work is tough, or my kids are freaking out, like the real life situations, the questions that people are really asking.
Yeah.
That's what we want to meet, and we want to do life with people to help them through that. And then eventually, of course, we want to have everybody experience that pivotal encounter with Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're saying you're trying to do that, not that you're like in the process or struggling to do that, it's because the church hasn't started yet.
Right. That is true.
I mean, you guys are launching this thing. You guys are starting this thing.
Yeah.
This is a brand new baby.
Yeah.
Here in Vegas.
That's right. When we moved here, we didn't kick down the doors in April of 2021 and say, hey, we're a new church. We've got all the answers. Come to us.
Yeah.
We really wanted to learn the culture. And being here, if living in Vegas, you find out that there is pockets of culture all over the valley. Mm-hmm. And as you see these cultures and as the neighborhoods and the communities you're living in, you see the needs differently. And you come at it a different approach. You don't say like, here, I got all the answer. No, you come with questions.
Right.
And you let them converse with you, and you let the people come to know who you are, and you see your heart. Mm-hmm. So in April of 21, we didn't do anything with our church. We just met people. Yeah. We went to parks. We went to restaurants. We hit the normal coffee houses and stuff like that over and over to be a familiar face. February of this year, 2022, we officially started the process of building a team. Mm-hmm. And the goal to launch Pivot Church this fall of 2022. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So with you coming into Vegas and learning the city, what have you learned about the city?
Oh, man. We learned that people are hungry for community and relationship, but they're foreign to how to get it. Mm. Vegas is such a transient city that people are moving in, moving out. They're maybe stationed here for 2 years if they're military. Maybe they're moving here because they found some hurt in their past. So they just come to Vegas to start over and lay low and not try to interact with people. Yet in the back of their mind, they know they're created for relationship. We're created for relationship and doing life with people. So they're wanting it, but they don't know how to go about receiving it and getting it. And when they get a taste of it, they see the trueness, the authenticity of, wow, you really care for me. Mm. The saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. We're really trying to show people we care for them. Yeah. And when they experience that, it's, wow, the walls come down. And then you start asking more questions. How long have you lived here? Oh, I lived here for, sometimes they're here for 20 years. Yeah. But they've never known their neighbor. It's the same neighbor they lived across the street from for 20 years, but they never had gotten to know them. Mm-hmm. Because it's a wall that people put up. It's a culture that we've experienced, that we found. You pull into your garage, you close your garage door, and you hang out inside the house. Oh, yeah. You go in your backyard, and you're in your own little world. Yeah. But the world is so much bigger, and the enemy will get us to think you got to stay in your own island. Don't let other people know about your struggles, because you're supposed to have it all together. Yeah. In the Northwest, it's more on the upper end. There's people that are professional workers. There's doctors, there's lawyers, policemen, all those kind of that, military families. And oftentimes that mindset is we need to have it all together. We have a perfect family. We have this. We can't share our struggles with people, but that's the enemy trying to get us trapped, to say, just stay in your own little bubble. Right. And that's such a dangerous place to live.
That is a dangerous place to live. And regardless if you are Fortune 500 company CEO or a doctor, a lawyer, or a garbage man, mm-hmm. you need a church, you need a pastor. Yeah. Because even though your problems might be different than one another, you still got problems.
We all got problems.
And not only do you need a pastor, you need community in your life. You need people who you can call and say, yo, pray for me. Mm-hmm. Hey, I need your help. Yeah. Of the Northwest part of the valley needs what you guys have to offer, man. Yeah. And I love how you said what we found are people here are looking for community and connection, but they don't know how to get it. Yeah. So tell me, man, how are people's lives going to change if they become part of the Pivot launch team? Yeah. And become part of Pivot Church?
If they become part of the launch team, they have an opportunity to really do church in a different way. And that's not to say like we're coming with new theology. That's not what I'm saying. Sunday morning is not our main focus, yet we will have Sunday morning church, but it's what we do Monday through Saturday that produces life change. And we're building into our launch team. What does that day in, day out kind of be the church look like? You know, I've heard it read, I've read it somewhere before that we go to church, yet we are the church. And then you have people that are part of gangs. They don't go to gang. They are part of the gang. You know what I mean?
Gangster.
Yeah.
I'm an OG. Watch out.
From Chicago.
Well, I grew up here in Las Vegas, but I'll take what I can get. Sorry. Just have to throw that out there. Go ahead.
It just bubbled out of you.
It
You just
did.
couldn't help it.
Because I'm an OG. Yeah.
That's right. But it becomes your identity of this is who I am. I'm a Christ follower. You know, I'm redeemed by the blood. I'm bought with the price. I've got the good news in me. I need to share this love of Jesus with people. You know, and that happens as we do life and we be the church outside the walls of Sunday morning. Yeah. So being a part of our launch team doesn't mean that you just have a job of, I need to set up sound, or I need to run kids, or I need to be a greeter or a parking lot attendant. No, it's meeting your neighbor and creating community around your house, around your neighborhood, meeting your mailman when he comes to drop off the mail, taking the 5 minutes to say hi and how you doing, offering the Amazon guy a water as he drops off your Amazon package, you know, being the church in such practical ways that produces that life change and that connectivity in the people around us. So being on our launch team helps us launch Pivot Church strong, but it also creates these pockets of community with Jesus-centered focus, with that pivotal encounter of Jesus at the center in all different parts of Las Vegas. Yeah. So that's how, if you're part of our launch team, if they join Pivot Church and they help us launch in the fall of this year, you know, we're gonna make a bang. We're gonna go out big. Yeah. And we want to make an impact in this community, and we want to be a church that grows with the community, right? The northwest part, Sky Canyon, Providence area is growing. Centennial Hills, it's all growing, and it's all a lot of new development. Yeah. God gave us a vision to plant Pivot Church to be a church that grows with the community, in the community. That's great. Yeah. That's great, man. That's awesome. I can't help but notice we have people in the studio, and Jaylen's here in the studio. She started laughing whenever I said I'm an OG. So thanks, Jaylen. Appreciate you with that. But to get back to Pivot Church, it's to show, you know what, honestly, whenever people join the launch team or part of the church, really like the launch team, you know, at our church, we have people who come early. We're a portable church. We meet in Centennial Hills, Centennial High School. Jaylen, who I was just mentioning, she's actually our kids director as well. They're coming early. They're setting up. They are running the cables. Yeah. They are setting up signs. But whenever you're part of a team at a church, as Pivot Church, you are affecting destinies. You are literally, come on, the early times you come to set up, the times you stay late to pack everything up, you are making an eternal impact in people's lives. And so I love the opportunity that Pivot Church presents for people here in Las Vegas to actually do something for their families, but actually for families that they don't even know yet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The opportunity to do something that will actually impact people's eternal destinies because you are serving on a team. Right. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. You know, we become Christians and we're told like, oh man, you're meant to live with purpose and destiny, but they don't know how. Right. What you're presenting with Pivot Church is an amazing opportunity to practically meet the needs of their community. That's right. And to make a difference in people's lives that has eternal value. Absolutely. So I think that is absolutely awesome. And people need that. So listen, if you're watching right now, I'm just going to make a little plug, or if you're listening right now, Pivot Church, go to Pivot Church, contact Brandon, Angelica, get a part. So that leads me to saying this. So we're wrapping up the show here. We have just a few minutes left. So if people want to get involved with what you guys have going on, whether it's being a part of the launch team or whenever you guys launch in September, right? It's September, right? September, October. Yeah. Yeah. September, October. Yeah. So whenever if someone wants to get in contact with you guys,
What's the best way for them to do that?
A couple different ways. They could go to our website, Pivot Church LV, as in Las Vegas, .com. We have Instagram. We have a Facebook page. On our website, my phone number is down there at the bottom. When it's the Contact Us page, that's my cell phone.
Direct line to you.
Direct line to me.
Wow.
I could have it on silent if it's Mondays. That's my time off, and my phone is off. I answer to my wife only. But yeah, there's different ways like that. And also we meet weekly at a local park. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be meeting at Huckleberry Park every Wednesday night from 7 to 8:30. And that's just us getting together and just hanging out, doing life together, letting our kids run in the splash pad, going on the playground and stuff like that. So we meet Wednesday nights. If anybody ever would want to just come out and just talk with us, we're out there. We're real people. We got kids. We're got to find something for them to do in these summer months and escape the heat. We also do Bible studies. We're kicking off our Bible studies at our house Thursday nights. That's for our people who want to come and just study the Bible together. We do a team night that night as well. So we do team night Bible studies on Thursday nights at our house. So yeah, there's a couple different avenues and ways to get plugged in. Coming in July, we're doing a vision casting night, and that's going to be at Menchie's Frozen Yogurt in Sky Canyon. 6:00 p.m. at Menchie's Frozen Yogurt in Sky Canyon. Anybody who shows up, free frozen yogurt on us.
Free frozen yogurt on Pivot Church.
That's right. They got real Dole Whip there.
Really?
That's the real stuff.
Can I come and just hear the vision of Pivot Church that night?
You can come hear the heart and vision, get a free frozen yogurt. I'll put you part of the launch team.
Yeah, there you go. You better watch out. My kids love Menchie's, man.
Come on.
They'd come get some free frozen yogurt, like quadruple their scoop or however that works. You know what I'm saying?
We'll have to.
I'm sure you have a plan for all that, but dude, that's awesome, man. That's incredible. Dude, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm glad that you're in Vegas. I know I've said it multiple times. I'm glad you're in Vegas. I'm glad you're in the northwest part of the valley. I'm glad that you're my friend.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're in this thing together, man, and you guys are going to be a success.
Yeah.
And I pray for Pivot Church. I'm praying for you guys. So thanks for being on the show today, man.
Thank you very much. It was an honor. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Las Vegas United. I know many of you are watching this on Keen 17. We're here live every Monday and Tuesday night and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Or maybe you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, would you go ahead and hit the subscribe button to CTN Vegas YouTube channel? Or maybe you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify. Do me a big favor and subscribe to the podcast and share it with somebody. That's going to help us get the word out. Anyway, thank you so much, and we will see you next time right here on Las Vegas United. God bless you.
Hey Las Vegas, thanks for tuning in this week. Next week, Dada Presley from Connection Church talks with Pastor Aaron about pastoring a church and leading its members. Dada gives insight on how to authentically serve and follow God, despite us being turned off by feeling uncomfortable. Though the fight for our faith comes with its challenges, there is a supernatural authority God is calling us to live in. Our show is hosted by Pastor Aaron Pino of Overflow Church. To learn more about him and his ministry, please visit overflowchurch.co. The guest this week is Brandon Bourbon of Pivot Church. For more information, visit pivotchurchlv.com. You can also follow them on social media at pivotchurchlv. Las Vegas United is produced by CTN Vegas, the Las Vegas location for the Christian Television Network. For more information about CTN Vegas and our show, please visit ctnvegas.com.